Welcome! You've come to the right place to learn about the City of Miami's step-by-step process on how to move forward on your projects through some of our ePlan applications. As you know, all ePlan projects require a number of supporting documents. In this video, you will learn how to address legal descriptions and survey sketches. These important documents serve to describe only the property you are looking to change. By the time you complete this how-to video, you'll understand what features you should look out for prior to submitting your application, and rest assured knowing that these legal descriptions and sketches will be able to stand up to scrutiny and stand the test of time. So let's begin.
Welcome. This is a video for applicants who are applying for rezones and future land use map amendments to help you understand how to respond to the city's requests or requirements for survey sketches and legal descriptions for these particular applications. This video is really going to start with our checklists, which all of you should be familiar with by now. The future land use map amendment or comp plan amendment checklist is virtually identical, not exactly identical, to the rezone checklist. So we're going to start with the rezone checklist. By now you are probably familiar with the format here in that we use these naming conventions. Legal descriptions and survey sketches go with the naming convention PZD8. So we're going to start here from the rezone checklist because the comp plan checklist works exactly the same way. Legal descriptions are written by a surveyor and they shall describe the boundaries of all proposed changes to the zoning. A separate description must be provided for each proposed new designation. So if you are proposing more than one designation, let's say you have an assemblage and you are hoping that the commission will approve 2 new designations or 3 new designations, you have to provide us with 3 legal descriptions, and each of those descriptions must have its sketch so we can visually depict what is legally described. Make sure you label that document as Exhibit A, and each iteration of those documents, if you have more than one proposed designation, is going to be labeled Exhibit A. And the survey sketch shall accompany the legal description. All survey sketches shall show all information referenced in the description and shall state that the survey sketch is not a survey. That is a universal standard. All survey sketches shall be signed and sealed by the surveyor who created them. So these are not something that you just make. It's not something that you do with a Sharpie. The surveyor is going to do it, and there's a proper way to get it done, and it's memorialized through the Florida Administrative Code. I'm happy to show you a submittal we had recently from an applicant. This was what our assemblage looked like in the zoning atlas. The entire assemblage is outlined in aqua blue. This bottom portion here is T3R and the top portion here is T680. They wanted to redesignate both into different transects, so they had to legally describe both portions. So they called this portion here, which I'm outlining in my mouse, parcel 1, and then this bottom portion here, parcel 2. So now that we've looked at the considerations for the subject properties in the zoning atlas, I'm turning your attention now to the future land use map, because the request here is different from the request for the zoning atlas. You can see here the exact same assemblage, the same properties outlined in aqua blue, but the applicant's request is different because they only want to change the future land use map for the area in yellow, and I'm mousing over that area now. And this, as you might recall, is parcel 2. And as is proper, the applicant has provided us only a legal description for parcel 2. And there's a survey sketch only for parcel 2. It would not be proper for them to have legally described the area in red, even though that's part of their assemblage. We would have rejected that. So very important, if you have an application like this, make sure you follow the example that this applicant provides. So let's now turn our attention to the legal descriptions and survey sketches that the applicants provided for their two applications. This is the legal description for the parcels that they wanted to change in the zoning atlas. So there's a description for parcel 1 and there's a description for parcel 2. So when we look further, we see the other criteria we're looking for: a statement that the sketch is not a boundary survey and a signature by their surveyor. I want to also point out the added courtesy here that they have the areas added for each of the parcels here. If you can include this on this document, you will enable your planning staff to conclude the concurrency reviews much more quickly. When we look at the survey sketch, again, labeled Exhibit A, we can see parcel 1 and parcel 2. These are the visual depictions of what was legally described. There's just an outline of the area here. Dotted lines depict the lots, which is fine. There's no improvements or other such things, site conditions shown on here. Therefore, it is not a survey. And we'll cover that here in more detail here in just a minute. So let's take a look at what they provided for the future land use map. Exhibit A and the legal description here. We only see a legal description for parcel 2. For the zoning, we saw a legal description for parcel 1 and parcel 2 because they want to change both of those. Here they only want to change parcel 2, and that is all that is legally described. The sketch is not a boundary survey and a signature by their surveyor. Unfortunately, we do not have the dimensions provided here, which is too bad, but they do have it in somewhere else, which I will show you shortly. So let's take a look at the survey sketch. This is the survey sketch on the full page. We zoom in. There's no demarcation on this parcel here on parcel 2. We see it highlighted. This is what is legally described. It is a perfect survey sketch from their surveyor. This is exactly what we need. It's ready to go along with legislation to public hearing. Now, the question may remain for some of you, what's the difference between a survey and a survey sketch? So let's look at what was provided as the survey for this project. And here it is. You can see it's much busier. The legend has many more items depicted on it. So here we have 2 buildings, their porch, we have parking stalls, concrete, we have an electric panel, several other features. So the whole site details are depicted in the survey, and that is the difference between a survey and a survey sketch. There's more than just outlines, and this shows the entire assemblage on it. And here we do have a legal description for this survey, which is fine. I'm sorry, a legal description for the entire site. And we do have the site dimensions or area measurements here, which is required by the checklist requirements for rezones and future land use maps. So as we prepared our checklists, we knew we needed to have this information so we could conduct all of the analyses that we need. However, what this does miss is that information is asked for at the lot level, so that we can have the detail we need to get all the analysis completed. So do be sure when you complete your surveys and you're working with your surveyors that you get your lot measurements at the proper dimensions and provide that to your planning department timely so that we do not have unnecessary delays. If you have questions about anything in this video, email us at planning@miamigov.com. Thank you for your time.